Here to do another little video on some of the stuff about Forrest Fenn's treasure hunting. What a lot of people don't realize is when you my solution. I mean, it's golden. Everything is in line from where warm waters halt to the home of Brown to no place for the meek, the heavy loads and the water high, and the blaze, the tired and weak, all the way down. And the end is in my drawings nigh. So you're looking for these symbols, but when you find the symbols, they're all over the place. And you don't know which of the symbols. Like, look at each of the drawings in his book. They're each different. Oh, I just got a notification that I'm live, so my notification just went out. But each drawing in the book is different. And when you find this drawing represented here, this other drawing represented over here, another one over there, and you know, and you don't know which of them is his intended final thing, and like the father and son, the Rockwell drawing one with the Rockwell boy and all that, that's in two different places. So if that's the important one, which one of those two places? And I'll show you something else about the treasure hunt. You know, it's if you starting with the thrill of the chase, there's the treasure hunt. Okay, everybody starts in the same place. Basically the trunk of the tree. Wouldn't the treasure be in a trunk or a chest? But anyhow, I'll get on with my little presentation thing I got prepared. So here we got, you know, you got to choose which state. Which state are you going to look in? You know, those gypsies, they're way out here on this New Mexico branch. And they can't see anybody searching in Wyoming or Colorado or Montana. They're way out here because they made this wrong turn into New Mexico right from the get-go. And they eliminated all of this. Well, you know, I had an extra branch, so I had to throw Vietnam in there because there are symbols of Vietnam in the final search area. The things that he talks about in his story are all depicted in nature there, in the rocks, and they're painted on the rocks, and the rocks are shaped like the Rockwell boy, the Biddy's boy, the Too Far to Walk things, the Forrest Fenn fly fishing. So, you know, and so say you take this route, and then they went out, dummies went out to New Mexico, you know, because Forrest Fenn didn't mention Colorado. Doesn't mention very much. He does mention Colorado though. The beads on the bracelet came from Colorado. They came from Mesa Verde. So they came from Colorado. His BB gun, the Red Ryder BB gun, the Red Ryder thing, his buddy Fred Harmon is in Colorado. Okay, so there are things in Colorado in his book that he mentions, but it's very subtle, very subtle. He doesn't say Fred Harmon's in Colorado. He talks about him, but, you know, well, he says in the last book that he's there. But, so you go, you know, and so once you make, and really, until you know where warm waters halt, you can't make any of these selections. Your warm waters halt will determine which state, because there's only the one like he said, there's many where warm waters are, many places that warm water halts, you know, but you need the one. It's a hat trick. I'm getting on to the hat trick. Okay. So where's warm water halt? A Trout Waters, Yellowstone, a hot spring, a Great Divide, a cemetery. I say cemetery because that's where you go when your heart stops pumping and stops pumping that warm blood. That's warm waters also. So death is when your warm waters halt, when your heart stops pumping. You know what I mean? So there's you got to look at the 6 degrees of separation. How is this related? How is this thing related to Fenn? And I can take that, and you can see I can tie death and warm waters to the blood pumping from the heart. It stops. Okay, so now each time you take one of these turns, you're like getting on another tree and starting over again at the trunk, and you got all these decisions. So if you make a wrong turn anywhere, you're not going to make, say the treasure's up here, you're not going to make it here because you went this way. So you totally took the wrong path. You know what I mean? It's so then we got and then you got to, from there you hit another branch, another fork in the road, which is a home of brown trout, beaver, a millionaire, a bear, an outhouse. What's the home of brown? So you got that going, you know. So each time, again, I take the millionaire. I found this guy. So I'm up here on this branch. So I'm going up this middle branch. My solution, you'll notice in these, is the middle branch going up, and it's the top of the tree is where I'm heading. So, and no place for the meek. Is it a mountain, rapids, a mountain pass, flying, a buffalo pasture? What? You know, where's no place? What's no place for me? You got to make these decisions, and if you make the wrong decision, you're not going to find the treasure because it's up here. It's up here. So you know what I mean? So each time, each decision you have to make along the trail, you're splitting off on another fork and going, and if you didn't choose the right one, you know, you may have to, say, back up to the home of brown to get in the right one, to get on the right track for the no place for the meek. And yeah, I've got it pretty much down. I could give you an answer for where each of these places are. I can give a coordinate for the no place for the meek, for the heavy loads, for the water high, for everything. I've got it all figured out. I'm not telling you my secrets. I'm helping you to figure out say where warm waters are, go the canyon down. Why add halt or stop to it? Okay. Where warm waters halt. Well, that's the where warm waters halt is simply a limit. Halt is, okay, so he talked about, if you sit in where the hot spring hits the river, you sit there right where that hot spring goes in the river, and it's mixed enough to cool down to sit there and be nice and warm, maybe 105 degrees, 100 degrees, you know. But as soon as you start to move just a couple of feet into the river, it gets cold. So the warm water halts very quickly right there. But the other thing he talked about was how deep is a hole. And he talks about the fire hole. The holes go together. When he talks about a hole here and he talked about a hole there, you can put those two together. So you got the fire hole, and you got how deep is a hole. How deep is a fire hole? So you're looking where warm waters halt is the world's deepest hot spring. Deepest. It halts 1,000 feet down. And the deepest one isn't in Yellowstone. I mean, that might have the biggest magma chamber and all that, but the deepest where they could drop a string down in the spring and let that string keep going down until it stops. The deepest one is 1,002 feet, and it's only 1,002 feet because they ran out of cord or whatever they were, measuring it with. So it's actually a lot deeper than that. But it's the deepest one ever measured. So that's where warm waters halt. Now we get on to the hat trick. Okay. So you find Forrest Fenn's symbols. You find his symbols. And one of these hats, so the symbols are all over the place. Here, these hats represent the symbols you find while you're looking for the treasure. And I've found as many symbols as there are hats here. But one of these has a treasure under it. Which one? I can move them one at a time here. Nope, not there. Shoot, man, I thought it was right up there on that pass. Is it here in this golden aspen tree? No, it's not there. Oh, shoot, man, I really thought that golden tree was what he was talking about. You see where I'm going? You see the symbol, you see the pair of legs in the rocks walking, the pair of legs, and you think, oh, this is it, And so here, oh, look, it's right there on that rock. No, not there. Or it's down here. No, it's not there. And at that point, you start looking at you got to look at all of them. You know what I mean? Not there. Okay. So let's, E4. Okay, now where's E? What is E the horizontal or the vertical? Well, we can do that, a little game. And we'll go. He's saying E4. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B, C, D. Okay? So E4, he's saying here. I think I already looked under that one. So he must be E4. It's the same one no matter what. Yeah, okay, we'll move E4 for you. Not there. Okay, let's do the letters down the side. Be what? One oser. One oser. Well, one oser isn't. B2. AB2. Nope, not there. See what I mean? This is how your searches go. You go look under the hat. It's not there, so you got to find another one. And you keep refining your search until you get to the right one. Nobody's picked the right one yet. There aren't that many, and I've moved several of them, so those are eliminated. So there aren't many left, if you can remember which ones I moved. So, any other? You see, I could put a 5 on the bottom. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, not there. Yeah, see, it's okay. Anything under 4, if they said 6 in E. So A's at the top, B's the second row, B4. I think we did B4. No, not before. Might be after. So, yeah, I set this up before I did the video just to demonstrate what a hat trick is. And I've been saying it's a hat trick because you're looking for the symbols. If you find the symbol of the hat in all these places, which hat is it? You got to look at each one. The other thing I noticed, this hat looks like my eagle formation up on the hill. It looks like the eagle head. you can imagine the top of the head, and this is the beak. And, you know, they can be eagle heads. He's got a couple of eagle eyes, and so well, let me move the ones off that have been looked at and make it easier. 5, this one was looked at. We looked at this one. Okay. Which one has the treasure? Come on, is top row's A, second row's B, C, D, and I've moved some of them that I can't remember all that I already moved, like you probably can't either. But the treasure is under one of those hats. Ain't any more guesses. No more guesses, huh? Y'all gave up? I don't give up. I'm still looking for the treasure, even though I've turned over all these hats so far, and it hasn't been where I expected it to be. You know? A1. We'll move A1. Whoop. Not there. Any others? And when I'm done, I just do the undo. I did this in PowerPoint so that I could put objects at different layers. The back layer is the picture, the treasure's on the second layer, and all the hats are on the top layer. Oh no, there is no hoax here. One of these hats has the treasure on. Y'all giving up. It's the last place you would expect to find the treasure. Yeah, right. So let's see how many of these hats we got to pull off before somebody gets it. C6. C6. We move C6. Who's next? A's the top row. B is the second row. C is the third row. A3. Boom. God. Nothing there. A3. Any more? Come on. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 left. And I'm sure some of these I already moved. A couple of them. So, yeah. Huh. B6. Nope. D3. A, B. Ooh, that's C. So, well, I accidentally gave you C3. I'll move D3 too. And D1. It might make it to the last place they check. Let's see if it goes that far. There's 5, 6, 10, 12 left. A's the top row, B's the second row, C is the third row, D is this bottom row. A4. And I promise you there will be a treasure under one of the hats. D6. Nope. This is fun. You see, you're going to look all over the place. Hat was 5. D6. No, 5. D5 I already moved. Got any clues? Mudbender. Mudbender. You know what Forrest Fenn means? If you look up in my 1825 dictionary, Forrest Fenn is a muddy bog. It's a muddy swamp. That's what a Forrest Fenn is. So if you're looking for a Forrest Fenn, you might be looking for a muddy, swampy area. Okay, come on, more guesses. There ain't that many hats left. I think it's got 11 left. 3, 6, 9, 10. A4. A4 right there, huh? Yeah. Nope. This top is A, B, C, D going down. B5. Nope. So this is how it is when you're out there looking. A2. This fun. It's funny because you know D2. Next guess. Well, there's only 6 left. A6. No. That's a Navy plane. I don't think he'd fly a Navy plane. You see, you can tie the A6 is an aircraft. Do 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 Mudbender! Da da da! Nobody has to die. This was a safe little hat trick. But you see the point. You have all the symbols, all these symbols over here. You went and looked and it wasn't there. It was way down there. And I told you there was a treasure in there. Okay. So, it's a hat trick. If you go out on the wrong branch, you might have to come back here and take a different branch in your, you come back. But you have to go all the way back to where you may, if your first step was the wrong step, you're not going to make it there. You gotta start at the right place and make all the correct turns. Yeah, it's like a road map. Follow his poem precisely. I'll turn around and get back to, because that's what a hat trick is. You got there's 100 hats there, and it's under one of the hats. So people don't look at it that way. And if you got the wrong warm waters halt, he didn't say where trout waters halt, where warm waters halt. Maybe New Mexico used that, and he knew New Mexico used it. Well, that's going to throw them off, and this is going to throw them off, and that's going to throw them off. Look at my last video. I was standing at the gate of the home of Brown. And I turn around, and up on the rock cliff is where those gypsies are. So, I'll get the gypsies on the screen just so y'all, let's see. Oh, I got them in here. Easy place to find them in my cartoons. My little cartoons, my little mem things I make. And I got a picture of the gypsies in there. Looking for it. Where is it? Well, I just find it this way. There we go. Which picture is this one? Okay. And so, little thing holding the phone here for it, little tripod thing. It's just slipping off of there. Okay. And so, from the home of Brown, here's your gypsies. You know? You don't see a girl's face in there? Here's her nose, her eye, her chin. Don't pay attention to these lichens on here. They're growing over the sculpted rock, and they'll throw you off. You'll see that lichen shape on there, and that's you know, you got to look at. There's 14,000 years of erosion happened here. That's why they don't look. And look at this. See the head here, the arms coming up. And she got like a tie on or something, you know, hardly a gypsy. But these are, you know, she's got her hands up in the air clapping. And this is the one here doing the elephant dance. This arm coming up like that, the Egyptian arm thing with the bent elbow and bent wrist. That represents the mammoth trunk. That's because I've found so many mammoth sculptures, you know. But look, you know, see her face is in there. Here's her nose, her mouth, her eye, and her ear, whatever, you know. And she's got this big, like, hat on. There's even another face right above her. But, and there's other figures you'll see, like this one here. There's a face. Here's her neck. Here's her arm coming up here. You know, there's somebody else down there dancing. There's somebody else right there smiling away. You see the shoulder clearly. It comes up and then goes up the neck around the head, and she's got like a Marge Simpson hairdo. Yeah, you got to be able to see the symbols. You got to find the symbols. You follow the poem to the drawings. You start seeing them at the home of Brown, and I just did an art thing of the No Paddle Up Your Creek area, and boy, that thing, it's like a big giant head on either side of the waterfall looking at it. It's awesome because it's so rough and so eroded, and the rocks have fallen off and all that. Oh, look at this guy, he's neat. See him, his mouth here, and he's got his spear, his Clovis spear here. Here's his arm coming down. See, so there's all these figures. There's even more down here. No. You don't have a coincidence with that much. The earth doesn't naturally carve human figures in the rocks. These were done by people at least 11,900 BC is when the last mammoth they've ever that lived was about 11,900 BC. There was a mass extinction. A comet hit the ice sheet up in Canada, and you know, just comet fragments all over the place. So it hit a lot more than there, and, you know, even hit in Europe and stuff. But it melted the ice super fast, and it killed off all kinds of wildlife, especially in North America, because that's where the biggest hit was. And this stuff, if you follow Forrest Fenn's Lewis and Clark stuff, you know, he talks about Lewis and Clark and following their path and all. The native people made similar journeys as Lewis and Clark from East Coast to West Coast. And this is a route that these natives used to cross the mountains. And this is where where this area is where the mammoth carried them over the mountain. They could only go so far up the river with their canoes. And at that point, they would unload the canoes. The picture I have of the rock, the petroglyph, is really hardly a petroglyph. It's half sculpture, half petroglyph, because some of it is sculpted in the rock and some of it is painted on the rock. It's really neat. But it's obviously a canoe, the oarsman standing on the back, and a mammoth loading a little girl and a big woman into the canoe, either loading them or taking them out of the canoe, whatever. The mammoth helped them out. Just like you watch these people in Burma, the logger elephants in Burma. And that elephant just does whatever those people ask him to do. And, you know, I don't believe that the mammoth was a raging beast like they make him out to be. They could be tamed just like the Indian elephants, you know. If people were a little smarter in Africa, they could probably train their elephants. And the thing is, these people in North America, they could have migrated back over to Asia after the disaster, and they went back over there and brought their elephants with them. I don't know. Maybe they bred them with an African elephant and made the Asian elephant. I don't know. So, but the mammoth was, they worship the mammoth. There are pictures all over I got of figures. The mammoth head. How can I depict it? I got a mammoth head. But anyhow, so there's, you know, the mammoth head with the trunk hanging down, and there's always somebody with their arms wrapped around the trunk of the mammoth, wrapped around just, you know, with their arms just above the eye or below the eye, and hugging the trunk of the mammoth. The worshipers on the top of the hill. Hey, Homer, it's not below your home, I guarantee you. It's not under Charlie Brown's home either. And there's another Brown you didn't think. Charlie Brown, that's one of them. Charles Schultz lived in Colorado Springs. There's another Brown in Colorado. Yeah. Charlie Brown's really upset with Forrest for sending all these people come over here and dig up his yard and all that, destroy his lawn, you know. And you think Charlie Brown would be really mad. Maybe Lucy can do something about it. This is one of my old shirts. It's kind of fading. And you see, in the Omega are the clues going around the Omega in the right order. You can find these shirts on Zazzle. Some of the, I don't know what this, sometimes they print them and the stuff flakes off real easy, and I got some that but I got some that the print goes on real good and it lasts a long time. It looks good. But this one I've got the treasure on the back. I don't know if you've seen that. You should have been able to. So, yeah, any treasure hunting questions? I've got my area down to, and there are some clues that I won't even bring it up because he said it. He said things that like say it's between here and here. And I got like maybe a quarter mile, a half mile at the most that I got to focus on, I think. But other clues tell me that it's just outside that little quarter mile area, you know? So I got all kinds of clues. And this lines up with Old Neck Head, the end of the rainbow, the canoe people, and all that. It's all there. And even that canoe thing that I just explained to you about them migrating up the river, over the mountain, and down the river to the other ocean. That is a major discovery and historical thing that will be in history books in the future. and wow. I discovered this ancient trade route or whatever, where they got out of their boat and they got on the mammoth, and the mammoth they rode the mammoth over the mountain. You know, because it's really hard getting over. We might as well use that big animal. I bet an animal like that need a lot of oxygen. It was pretty tough for him up there. And, you know, the mammoth had real small ears, didn't have a lot of cooling, and maybe the climate warmed up so much that they couldn't handle the heat. They didn't have the ears to cool off, and they overheated and died. That's one thing, you know, and maybe there was more oxygen on the earth before this event. And, you know, what they ought to do is maybe find a way to create more oxygen in the atmosphere. Instead of cutting forests down, plant new ones. I want to get some trees and plant them. There's no trees anywhere near my property here, and I want to get some trees and plant them. But, yeah, we ain't got many questions coming. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, you see, I'll show you this here. Just see. You see the arm going up and doing that thing? Is there another girl clapping? No, she's got her arms up like that. Tar pit. Yeah, tarry. The road is tarry. But when these people, when they, at the time of these people and the mammoths, when they were traveling over the mountain, it wasn't tarry, it was carry, C-A-R-R-Y, you know. So instead of a carry, and the carry, okay, you carry your canoe and your people over the hill from the takeout to the put-in. So if the put-in is below the Homer Brown, the takeout would be on the other side. So here you see you got the girl with the arm coming up doing this gypsy dance thing here. And that's the same as this one here. This girl with her arm coming up and the hand out here. You know, there's her face, there's her arm. And this might be her other arm back here. Maybe she's got both hands up, I think, because I don't see her other arm. And the other thing, if you go there to look at this, when I went there, I was there around noon. And the sun is on the other side of the cliff, so these things aren't illuminated by the sun. This picture was taken closer to sunset. At sunset, all the stuff comes. It's like, bloom. Yeah, I just had somebody. Don't ever call me during a live stream. I won't answer. Yeah, I'm live streaming. Don't do that to me. I don't know who that was. It's usually some telemarketer. I very rarely get any serious calls. So yeah, we got the gypsies dancing. There's some mammoth art. Oh yeah, mammoth gypsies attack mammoth. This is about you know what. Yeah, I'm the forbidden searcher. We can't mention Gorman. Don't piss off the mammoth. Elephants never forget and they never forgive. They're wise, everything. And this here, he talks about Fred Harmon. And we just looked at the picture with the gypsies, and this is a gypsy wagon. You can't deny that, okay? That's at Fred Harmon's place, the Fred Harmon Museum. It's at Warm Waters Hall. So you're pretty close right there, you know? You're getting on that's the start of the path. You know, you got to take all the right branches from there. So here I've kind of cut the girls out, and a little bit. You can see her there, their hand up. Here I overlaid the art from the book. See her arm coming up, just like this one. Oh, yeah, there's definitely that's girl there, one over here, one here. There's other figures in here. That's, as you can see the eyes on that thing and the mouth, But you got to look, remember, erosion has made them much uglier than they probably were. This was probably beautiful when it was 14,000 years ago. How did I get back? I must have gone the other way. No, that's all the pictures in that group? Okay. All right. Any more questions on the treasure hunt or anything? Let's see, what do we got? 41 minutes. Stay on here, let other people come in. But yeah, that little. Maybe I'll move the treasure, and we'll do the game again. And I'll find something here to make a prize. If it's not waters at all, it's waters. It's water. It's very not warm water. It's very hot water. That stuff will scald you. It'll cook you. I mean, that water in the hot spring, it comes out of there, and they got to mix it with water from the river to put it in the hot spring so you can get in there. There's a part down at the river, and it's just rocks around the spot, and it's a sandy hole. And if you put your feet down in that sand, you burn your feet because there's some hot water just coming right up out of the sand. and the other thing, if you go to Pagosa, you'll see the hot springs. You can pay. I can get in for $8 because I got a local address, but it's like $15, $18 or something to get in there. But there are springs in the river that you don't have to pay to go in to the hot spring. There's a couple springs right there in the river. They're only they're not 105 degrees. They're like 98. They're nice and warm, but you can go in there. And that Mexican restaurant across from the hot springs is pretty good. I ate there. I've eaten at there's Ramon's and there's two of them. There's one in South Fork and there's one in Pagosa. So they're not bad. The price is a little high. I like going to the little Mexican restaurant, the little family Mexican restaurant, and you can get the chimichanga dinner with rice and beans and everything for like $8. And when you go to the nicer restaurants, it's $13. That's cool. Just sit down. Tar pit. That's cool because I boil. Yeah, I go on them things and it feels good after you go there and sit in the Pagosa Springs. Got a little bit of sulfur smell to them, and the water isn't crystal clear. If you want a crystal clear, nice, clean, oil-free hot spring, you go to Cottonwood Hot Springs up near Buena Vista. I don't see other searchers really, but I'm not there every day either, and I don't tell them where my special symbols are. But the area is, I mean, if I already told you Pagosa is where warm waters halt, then that's a whole lot better than somewhere north of Santa Fe. And the poem kind of follows the route these people followed. So, and their figures are all over the place. There's some stuff there in that valley where Brown lives, and he owns just about that whole beautiful valley, man. You can tell by the fence, and he has gate numbers. At the gates, there's a little number, gate 23, gate 20, gate 24, you know. And he's got dozens of guest houses, and his house is just this beautiful thing. I don't know where I saved those pictures, but I think I could probably get away with showing you. I could find that and show you his home. There you go. Okay, let's get this going. I'll have to get started and pause it. Okay, now I get my screen ready. Switch around. And now we'll show you. Could just kill that smell with some other smokes. Good. How many people visit the area? I'm trying to use my mouse because I see it on my phone. I couldn't click on the stuff to keep. I gotta use my mouse on the computer. Okay. So here's the home of Brown. I wonder if Forrest considered buying the property. So, I'll talk while this music's playing, I guess, so that I don't get, it kind of mutes it, covers up any copyright music thing and all that. Or maybe I'll just turn the music down too. This is a home of Brown. It's absolutely gorgeous. Can you picture Forrest there with his fly rod? I can. Put in. Oh, I got a dog hair in my cup tea. See, the people that cut out of the video had 40 minutes, they don't. It's just beautiful. It's a long. It's a 2.5 hour drive to get there, and my Social Security doesn't pay me enough to go up there. I'm going to move my. I'm on my land right now. I'm going to go up there, maybe in a week, and camp closer. I'm waiting for the road to open so I can get into my campsite. See the bronze? See the bronze and another bronze? And there's some more back there, I believe. See the bronze on the Indians? I wonder if this was in Fenn's gallery. You know what I mean? If you live in this spot and you want to go buy some bronze art, it's 2.5 hours to Santa Fe, 2.5, 3 hours to Santa Fe, and you go down there and you get your bronze art, because Denver's too far to go. Colorado Springs and Denver, that's a long ways from there. I said that you're going to find that there are many Browns in the search. You use the stuff over again. There's his home here, and then you get over. You follow the poem to the drawings, and you follow the drawings to where the treasure is. But where the treasure is, all of the parts of the poem tie in again. And so you have another home of Brown. That's the beaver. It's below his home. It's at the put-in where the canoe is. It's you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's, Brown's swimming pool there, man. It sold for $88 million. Okay. So there you go. That's the home of Brown. All right, millionaire, billionaire. If you have a house that sells for $88 million, you're probably a billionaire. We're not far from being one. You know what I mean? And Forrest knows those kind of people. Those very affluent. Yeah. Yeah. What we do is when you go in that chat room over there with them other people, mention me. What about that place up there? He's got it down. You people are lost. They are. They're totally lost. And they treat me as if I raped them. All I said was you lack imagination. And I'm booted from having any other conversation with them. But they bring on people that have been searching for 2 weeks. I've been searching for 4 years. 4 years I've searched. I've searched New Mexico. I came to the conclusion it's not down here. It can't tie into anything down here. I did go up to Salida and Chaffee County area and the Collegiate Peaks there and looked up there a bit until I came down here looking for the end of his rainbow. And when I went to go to the end of his rainbow, where I camped, it was the camp area had a common name that I believed I knew. But, like Forrest says, he messes with words and stuff. I decided, well, I'm going to look up this name and see what the meaning of it is, Because, if somebody's named Fred, you just say, oh, Fred, it's just Fred. But the name Fred has a meaning. And my name, William, has a meaning, If you look up the origin of the name, So, I'll do that right now for let's see. And I know mine came from one of my ancestors, like William the Conqueror, all that. Origin of William, from the Old Norman French Willamoon, which is derived from the whole High German Wilhelm, a compounded name compounded from the elements willio, will, determination, will, determination. That's so fitting. Yeah. Will and determination, and helm, protection of a helmet. Hence, resolute protector. William is the most popular name introduced to England by the Normans. So, if he said to look for the protector, he could be talking about look for William. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? If he found the blaze, you know, what if the meanings of this other place that's a common name meant that, you know, it was flaming, or, you know, something like that, just, you know, flaming, or, and also people don't realize if you've been wise, then you've been bright. If you've been bright, isn't something bright a blaze? Can something bright be a blaze? So if you've been wise and you've been bright and found the blaze, which I did, you look quickly down. And when you look quickly down just means you're hitting the road again. And so you follow the blaze to where it ceases at the wood. That's where I found the wood. And I found the Model A cowl with a 50 caliber hole. I took a 50 cal to the nose. There's a hole in the nose of that Model A. Subtle hints. Subtle hints mean just like that. It's subtle. It's not bold. If he said Firehole Hot Springs, I guarantee you it's not there. That is not subtle at all. Boom. You know, the places he named, it is not there. Those are not subtle hints. Those are bold and in your face, you know, and it therefore can't be a hint. It's so bold that it's the subtle aspects of what the bold thing, you know. The subtle is like the dirt under your fingernail, you know what I mean? I don't know. But, yeah, I noticed. You notice the one picture here, stands out, right? That's my great-great-grandparents. It's Christopher Darius Gorman. He played the fife in the Wisconsin 8th Infantry, and they brought a bald eagle to the Civil War known as Old Abe, the Screaming Eagle, the 101st Airborne. Has the Screaming Eagle. My great-great-grandfather, he played the fife for the unit, and the Eagle loved to hear Yankee Doodle. I'm working on a screenplay. I'm not a good writer. If somebody's a good writer screenplay, I got a great story about the Eagle going to the Civil War, and I got, you know, there's the only woman woman officer in the military and all that in it, and because she was a nurse and a general or somebody, and I guess was it Shiloh, and they were so impressed with her work ethic, I guess, that they made her an officer, but they said, well, you know, her husband was a lieutenant, or yeah, her husband was like a lieutenant or something, or captain, and so they said, well, your husband's a lieutenant, so we're going to make you a major. So she outranked her husband. But anyhow, so my great-great-grandfather served with the Screaming Eagle, the 101st Airborne Screaming Eagle. And I thought it was in the end of this book. No, it's in the Too Far to Walk. It's in the end of Too Far to Walk. And he's got the Screaming Eagle. I've seen it in one of the books. There it is. So, right there. 6 degrees of separation. Here's Forrest Fenn's book with the Screaming Eagle, okay? Okay, so how many degrees of separation do we have between Forrest, Fenn, and me? Eagle. Okay? Eagle bearer, or fife player for that eagle. Boom. 2 degrees. It's my great-grand. It's only 3 degrees of separation there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he served with the Screaming Eagle, and it's pretty cool. The eagle's also ablaze. The white head on that eagle and the horse thing. I went and I got more pictures. I was up there day before yesterday, and there's the one area I couldn't even get because there's still, it's so deep in the canyon the sun don't get there, and the bottom of the canyon is still got quite a bit of snow, especially filling in the pockets where it would be. There's lots of open ground. So there's open ground out of the trees and stuff that the snow's melted away, but all the pockets where he would have hidden it are covered with piles of snow, and I got to wait a little longer for that snow to melt, and that's why I'm going to head up there and camp closer next week. This winter I've only been going up there about once a week to check the conditions and look in spots I could, and here's something. I was up there and just 150 feet from the road, I went up there looking, and because there's all these sculptures up there, and I know from watching videos about archaeology that they made little figures from dark rocks and stuff, and so I was up there looking for something I could put in my pocket, some kind of artifact or sculpture or something, and I found this. And it looks like, it's just a rock, right? But look at this. Look at that edge. Look at that. And you see, it's all flaked away. It's all flaked off here. These are all flaked off. And what this was, they hold it like this, and it was a knife. They could cut. You could cut with this, And so I believe this is probably a 14,000-year-old knife. I'll let you look closer at that. Yeah. So this might be, a Clovis knife. I'll let you look at the point, the edge. See, it's sharp. So, as crude as it is and all, you got to be able to see this stuff in, what's hiding in nature, what's hiding right in front of you. This was just laying on the ground. This side was up, But look at that sharp edge. It just all the way around, and so you could, and it fits in your hand real nice. But he might have had a stick on here with string and. But I think it was just for cleaning the, carve up the elk or whatever, and So I think that's a Clovis knife. If anybody would want to comment on that, tell me if you think so too, or if you think I'm just full of shit. If you think I'm full of shit, I don't like you. No problem with that, is there? If you don't like me, I'm not going to like you. I don't like, Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about little pinhead liberals who... Oh, that guy's a bit wild. We can't have him on our show. He might cuss, because he cusses on his. I know better than to cuss on somebody else's show, And so, and I don't appreciate the disrespect of not being included as a valid searcher, they're invalid. Their solve reminds me of the black tank on my RV. You just got to dump it. It's so full of, Yeah, the guy ain't got a clue. Supposed to be an intelligence analyst. If you're well, we're really looking hard at Bush, and Hillary's over there selling uranium to the Russians. But Bush, not Bush. We want Trump this time. It's Bush or Trump. It's anybody that's not a liberal. We want them. We hate them. We hate them. We hate them. We got. We're the hate party of hate, and we preach we're the party of love. We love people who cut their nuts off. We love people who deform their bodies into something that they're not. We love those people. We love them more than normal people. Oh, yeah, the pedophile politician. Yeah. I don't know how anybody can back those people. They're all going down for their pedophilia and their human trafficking, and it's so ridiculous. They want that border open so they can do their human trafficking thing unmonitored, It's terrible. People come up here, and 80% of the girls coming up here get raped by the guys they're traveling with, So you're bringing up all these rapists and, so, yeah, I'm not a liberal. I'm a libertarian. That's why I don't like that Speaker of the House. I don't like the Speaker of the the Republicans. I don't like them. They're little assholes. They're half liberals. But okay, I didn't lose anybody. I better get off that politics. So anything else about Forrest Fenn here? I'm running out. What have I put on my thing lately? Let's see what pictures I have on my Facebook fanatic group. Let's see. I posted this. Yeah, you see, I put you can't leave a bronze just anywhere in the forest. And does that affect the patina? You think that moose there is gonna harm the patina on that bronze buffalo? Is that Cody? Okay, there's a Homer Brown. That's a picture I took the other day when I went out there. Where did my friends go? Never insult the admins. Okay. So he says, I asked Doug and 3 others to write the book, and showed them the treasure chest. For various reasons, none wanted to undertake it. Undertake, is that like bury it? Or, yeah, undertake, and he says, take it. See, I was searching for take it. And he says, take it in the canyon down. So undertake it. The reason I don't want to write it is because I might not be alive at the end of the book. So he's not really talking about that. I might not be alive at the end of the chase is maybe what he was talking about. You see? So it could be that Doug is the executor of his treasure hunt after Forrest passes or whatever. Doug is the one that will be notifying the most correct searcher and giving them the title to the gold. because you've heard the saying, not from not from my cold dead hands. You're not going to have the treasure until I'm dead. That's when you get the title. You always wonder if it's a contest and the person who's in the lead when he dies wins. So we don't know. So he says stuff like that, and it just makes you wonder. This could be just a fantasy in my head, but it makes you wonder what's going on. What's going on? Here's George Washington in the wood. Okay, there's a wood frame, and there's Washington in the wood. In the art. Washington is in the art. The art is in the wood frame. So, I'm still going on that. Woo. In every landscape should reside jewels of abstract art waiting to be discovered. Melissa Brown, she's an abstract artist. And you don't see the Indian chief here. Okay. I think I covered this one. So I've been back this far on my other videos. Thanks. I think I'm close. I'm very close. It's refining and there's a million. 1 acre of land could have 200 or 300 little hiding spots in it, especially if it's rocky and you can. It's not hard to climb over a lot of those rocks. A lot of them are like steps. I can't wear. I've learned if I'm climbing around on them things and stuff, I can't wear my glasses. I have to go with my own eyes because the depth will. Your glasses can make you fall off a cliff. You know what I mean? Yeah. What I put on there? Maybe get it bigger in abstract. The art of imagination. Yeah. Come on now. Who doesn't see the horse here? Here's the horse head. Ding, 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 ding. Here's his ears. Here's the horse body going back. Here's the guy standing here. Here's his eyes, nose, mouth is open up big. But, and look at that. Is that his belt buckle? And I looked I got some real close-up pictures in there. And it's a hole. So, yeah. But, okay. There's the abstract, messing with words, looking for the omegas. A U is an omega, a horseshoe, or, it's just upside down. It doesn't matter if George Washington's turned forward or backward and upside down. There are things that are upside down, like the cats and the cow udder and stuff like that. And the cats and the cow udder are right below the eagle. And, and his jets are there and everything. Except that's not a I took it with me spot. My other spot is I took it with me spot. We'll get off of that. That was an error. Oh yeah, here's where Google, and it's a screenshot. Google and Facebook. Where was it? What was it? Google. Yeah. So Google admits here a team of highly trained monkeys has been dispatched to deal with this problem. See, I had a server error. That was YouTube, and nobody could get to their channel. Everybody was getting this error. If you see them, send them this information as text. So if you see one of Google's monkeys that they hired, Google is hiring monkeys to run YouTube, okay? And that's just not right. I think PETA ought to go in there and and take all the monkeys away from Google. Yeah. So yeah, they've hired these purple monkeys, man. That's straight from Google and YouTube. That monkey with the hammer. And is that how the monkey's gonna fix YouTube, with that freaking hammer? Come on. You know? So yeah, they need to keep their stuff working. Ew. Fennel, plant of strong scent. Fenny. That's as close as I could find to fen in my 1825 dictionary. Fenny, a marshy, boggy inhabiting the marsh. Okay, so a fen is a muddy, marshy, boggy, muddy marsh. You know what I mean? So, and he talks about coming out all muddy. So, is that where he is actually the mud? His name is Mud at that point. No, yeah. When you've figured out his poem and gotten his treasure, if you've deciphered his stuff to that point, then he's saying, my name is Mud. If you can figure this out, then my name is Mud. So, I think he might still have it. I don't know. Because when he says the treasure's really out there, I have a feeling it's really the trove of the art on the rocks that I've found, the gypsies, and these are spread out over miles, and so you're looking for his trove. His trove is the treasure, basic. So he's playing on what the treasure is. There's more than one treasure. There's more than one omega. There's, everything repeats. The poem repeats. Even the symbols repeat, like the Rockwell boy in two different places. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any questions for a while. Let's see. What do we got? Definition of faint. Where's faint? Oh, yeah, I hadn't looked up faint. Forrest did spend 15 years busting his ass on a poem just to give away the treasure. Figure out the clues and you got it. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Hooked to a bomb or something. Yeah, it did. I've shown in my other video the formation with the double blazes and his jet like coming right out of there, and all his pile of airplanes there and stuff. What else is on here? Yeah, there's things found in a tar pit, like a mammoth. A tarry scan. There aren't any tar pits there. There was a super volcano near there that was like 5-6 times bigger than Yellowstone. Been extinct 75 million years. Yeah. So what else? What else am I missing here? Solid plan. Remember, make a man without a plan is no man at all. Yeah, I've planned, and you go. I see these spots in my pictures, and I go look there, and I think, no way, it's there. And these rocky areas, there's no way that he could dig. You dig, you're going to hit a rock in 2 inches, and you're not going to be able to move it. They said they won't discuss some names about other blah. Yeah. They mentioned that. Oh, we can't use his fanatic thing. Yeah, you better not. I've been using that for a few years here, and I'm really on to it. So onto the treasure, and they're not. They're totally lost. I went all the way into the art. If you're brave, you go into abstract art. That's what brave is. Brave and in the wood. Brave and in the art. You always got to replace the word wood with art. Okay? So some of these words actually mean something else. Yeah. So I could, even the blaze, I could put a name in there. You could make the poem different by replacing the words with the other words, and maybe I tried reading the poem. Read the poem backward. It almost makes some sense. Read it. Not each go with each word. Read them reverse, and you can almost put something together from that. Almost. You got to put in. You got two put-ins, because a put-in is also a takeout, just like an omega has an entrance and an exit. Omegas have entrances and exits, even though the alpha is the beginning and the omega is the end. That's an entrance and an exit, and he thought the Shakespeare thing, entrances and exits. Dictionary, pause down to hear your family tree. That was very interesting. Yeah, and I didn't tell you about. So he served with the Screaming Eagle. We can get up there. He served with the Screaming Eagle. But his wife here, her name, Mary Allen Rogers. Why does she have a guy's name for her middle name? It's because her great-grandfather was Ethan Allen. Ethan Allen is my fifth great-grandfather. And her other great-grandfather was Colonel James Rogers of Rogers Rangers. Him and his brother, my fifth great-granduncle, Major Robert Rogers, made peace with Pontiac. Now, this is before the Pontiac Rebellion. The Pontiac Rebellion, it was really like, he was already shipped off to England to go to trial for treason, which was all bogus, and he was released on, because it was just scandalous people trying to, they had their favorite, the Indians, when Rogers came, he opened up the trade with all the Indians and stuff that had been shut down by the French. And the people didn't like, the French didn't like it. They weren't making money and all, so they said, oh, he's conspiring with us to give English territory to the French. He's a spy for the French. And he wasn't. They shackled him and hauled him off to England in the bottom of a boat with shackles on his ankles, bleeding and everything. But they did the exact same thing to Ethan Allen. So here, two relatives of mine were both shackled and shipped back to England there's some, in the southwest part of England, there's some castle or whatever, they were held there. But Robert Rogers went there, and he was a big celebrity, really, the famous American, who is more famous than George Washington, but Robert Rogers in 1765 petitioned the King of England for an expedition up the Missouri River to the Shining Mountains. From there, it's a 20-mile carry to the Oregon River that leads to the Pacific Ocean. And those are the instructions that Lewis and Clark brought with them. So right there, this ancestor is related to the Screaming Eagle. This ancestor is related to Lewis and Clark's expedition. You see what I'm saying? It's the 6 degrees of separation. And I got their blood from these great people. You know what I mean? I'm very proud of my ancestors. Maybe some of, right, they took a lot of scalps. The other side was taking a lot of scalps too. Both sides were doing it, but the other side had a bigger program with it, and the French were paying good money for scalps, in pounds, English pounds, or French whatever. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm going to do something here because I'm going to end the video soon. And the people that only watch a few minutes of the video aren't going to get this kind of information. Because what I'll do, come on, internet. Okay. So, I'm going to give you some numbers here. 37, 24, 47.65 north. 106, 53, 47.88 west. That's the gate to the home of Brown. Now I'm gonna have to go for another 10 minutes here or something to keep people from going and check my last 5 minutes of the video to see what special clue I gave. Okay. So, and if you go there to the gate of the home of Brown, and you want to be there around, before the sun sets, when the sun's hitting that face of the rock, and you get your binoculars, or you got to have a very new, very good digital camera, like a Nikon or something, with a good 300 millimeter lens at least, and you can get some good pictures of the gypsies. Yeah, he used to have concerts over there, and every year it was a bluegrass or something, or it wasn't bluegrass. It was a music festival. I don't know if he had various kinds of music, maybe. I think if I was going to have a music festival, I wouldn't have a certain theme, like, I'd have some blues, some bluegrass, some rock, and a country, man, you get your crowd that comes. You have the top, like a top guy from country, top guy of rock, top whatever, different genders. World War I infantry. My dad had an uncle. So my grandmother's sister, she married a German soldier from World War I. And I have a wood crate from his orchard in, I think it was Hollister, California, or somewhere down there. But yeah, I have a crate from his orchard. Is Heinrich Thienemann. Heinrich, but he went by Joe. Heinrich was, if you just came over here after World War I and World War II is coming, you don't want to go around with a name like Heinrich. They have to call you Henry. But yeah, he was a real cool, because he was like 90 something, and he was always, how are the girls? Are the girls still good? How are the ladies? Old perv. No, he's just an old, really funny old man, and he fought. He was just a German soldier. He wasn't a officer or anything. He was just following orders. And he wasn't even a Nazi. Nazis came along later. So, whatever. 30. Yeah, I've got to go at least 30, 1 hour and 35 or so. The fanatic. And notice there's only one rainbow trout right there coming over the omegas. And there's tea stains under my thumb. Oh, thought I was covering it. The fanatic. No, I made that. I found the rainbow pattern I wanted. I made the text on a black background. And then I made the text transparent and pasted it over the rainbow. And then I removed the black background. And then I added the trout. And you see some of the trout are behind the letters and swimming through the letters. See, he's coming out through that gap there. And see, some of the trout are behind him, some in front. And so, I had a copy of the letter and the trout, and I put the trout in there, and then I take the letter and paste it back over the trout, kind of. So, but yeah, that was fun to make. Yeah. I have one brother that's a Nazi. He worships Hitler. It's just, oh man. You can't fix people. You can make suggestions, but you can't fix people. You can make suggestions. You can block them. Yeah. People come at me with, what about that? Well, you didn't see my other video. I mentioned that stuff, So, one nice thing, if you're trying to conceal something and still want to help people to get in the right direction without spoiling it and giving them your X marks the spot, then you make a very long video and you put the subtle clues in, or some like that. I gave you a coordinate there, I'm going to do a video on how to, when I find my DB stick. A DB stick is a thing you use to measure coordinates on a topo map. And you can use it on it works on any size topo map. It has one scale for 7.5, and it has another scale for the bigger maps, the 15-degree maps or whatever. When you turn, his head is going to be the tarp. Well, I don't know. Me and Forrest, we've already had our heads waxed. We had breakfast, and Forrest is missing a lot of hair too, like me, and I imagine that he has the same issues with the hair, And I did this little what are you gonna, I get up in the morning, look at this stuff. I can make my hair stand straight up. So, I can be funny looking. Because there's just this little bit of hair back here. And the reason this is long is so that I can cover up that big spot back there with it. And remember, I got this Clovis knife here. I got to find out what this is worth. If this isn't worth a whole lot, Maybe I'll make it a prize and we'll have another hat trick contest. You know what I mean? I might make this a prize. I might make one of my coins in my collection a prize. I don't know. But I've got some silver coins. Where's my little treasure chest? I have a little treasure chest here. But it's all... My little treasure chest, I've shown it in pictures. There's a 1/2 ounce Moby Dick coin in here. That's worth 55 or more. I bought it for 55 and the silver's gone up. And it's one of them collector things. And they're hard to get, so the price is higher than silver. Because there's a limited number of them. Like I was looking at some mammoth coins, and they have some mammoth silver coins with eyeballs set, glass eyes in them, and in the mammoth, and it's like 8 ounces, and it's like $500. 8 ounces should be like $160 at the most, It's less than $20 an ounce. Maybe it's gone up. Propane's gone up. But, yeah, this is a little box I got at the Harvey house, the old Harvey Posada, La Posada in standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. The La Posada in Winslow. It came from a Harvey hotel, basically. The little metal box, got a couple little tiles on the top, and then I got some trinkets in here. But I've had this all taped up like this for over a year, or about a year, and the plan is that when I find the treasure, I almost dropped it in my tea. When I find the treasure, I'm going to leave this where I find the treasure, and I will give, at that time, then I'll give it was within a half mile of a certain point. Okay, I'll give the clue that puts you in my quarter-mile area. I'll tell you how that works. Yeah, and I'll leave it there where when I find the treasure, not if, it's not an if. You got to be positive. You got to think positive. When at the same time I learned about the treasure, I learned about this guy, Paul Santisi, who does these meditation videos, and you can meditate yourself into being the wizard that finds the treasure. The hats are an optical illusion. No, actually, Hint of Riches Old is a mountain shaped like a hat. And there are ancient stories of treasure at that mountain. And there's hints in his Vietnam story about that mountain. Yeah, you see, I'm so close to the end of the poem that all the stuff getting there, I can tie direct link. I can match this to that, and I go through the book, and I know that this part of my route matches that place, or this place in my route matches that part of the poem, or matches that drawing in the book, matches that story in the book, And when you're in the right place, the person that's in the right place is able to go through the poem, and everything just lays out just perfectly, and you follow it like a follow the dot, right? It puts you in an area, and then you're looking for the symbols that symbolizes, There's hundreds of mammoth sculptures, and a treasure chest is a trunk. And if you look at the mammoth, what's he got hanging on his face? A trunk, you know? So, and he talks about something sticking things in their nose, and with a mammoth sticking things in the mammoth nose, which is a trunk, sticking it in the trunk or in the chest. A treasure chest in a trunk. Okay? His car at the museum in the parking lot, the treasure in the trunk. And so the treasure might be in the trunk of his car. It's not in his safe anymore. He just locked it up in the trunk of his car. If you solve this problem, then when I die, you get this. But you're not going to get it. You're only going to take it from my cold, dead hands. You're not taking it from me while I'm still kicking on this planet. Oh, that's what he says in the Planet of the Apes or something. My cold, dead hands. And I've found stuff that looks like... I mean, when you find this place, it is similar to finding the Statue of Liberty sticking out of the beach. It's an ancient artifact. These are ancient artifacts and whatever, and being able to interpret these drawings and have knowledge that nobody else in the world has. When you discover a site that old and you're able to interpret the rock carvings and what they're telling you and everything, the serpent was a chain of people. The serpent, well, they had a snake it was a chain of human figures, and they're all laying down, and you know, like if I had somebody sitting on my shoulders, and if I had 50 people sitting on my shoulders, and then you whooped it around like a snake, you know, that type of impression you get from that, you know, the serpent thing, and there's, you know, Moses parting the Rocky Mountains. He showed the people, you can almost do an Israelite thing here, you know? Say, you know, the people in the eastern U.S. escaped to the western U.S. or the western, and there's Moses parting the Rocky Mountains and showing the people the way over the Great Divide. Which is, the Great Divide's a warm waters halt also that goes all the way from Canada to Mexico. So, you know, the Great Divide, the warm waters of the Atlantic halt there, and the cold waters of the Pacific begin there. You know, so you got, there you have another where warm water, there's multiple. Okay, so you got these 4 states. You draw into where the Continental Divide. Somewhere along the Continental Divide in the Rocky Mountains north of Santa Fe. And it draws you. So you're using the where warm waters halt, but you're focusing, you need another where warm waters halt. And that's where you find the hot spring near the Continental Divide. And there's another where warm waters halt, right, my thing right there by the home of Brown. That's a 4.5 mile walk. That's too far to walk. So you don't even go there. Put yourself back in your car and take the Terry Scant to No Place for the Meek. And no paddle up your creek. The hint of riches old. His riches are the new riches. When he says the hint of riches old, he's not talking about his treasure chest. There are some things in there that are old, but he's talking about an old lost treasure. So, and really, this is a $30 million in gold bars, and the 30 million came from when the price of gold was $200 an ounce. So that's changed by 8 times. So that 30 times 8, 33 times 8 is 8, no, is it 16, 24. So $240 million. Almost $250 million it's worth now. If you can find those gold bars that were lost there and those 300 dead guys buried there. the tombstone guys. If you talk about Fenn's tombstone thing, you know what I mean? So there was a couple of good things going to be near the end of this video. I'll try and go for 2 hours. Just to, people don't like, oh, I was on a singles group, right? And so they said, well, who's over 60? I said, well, I'm not over 60. I just turned 60, so I won't be over 60 till I hit 61 in 362 days. You know what I mean? And the reply I got was, boring. And there wasn't really, what I said wasn't something that deserved a comment like that. That was just her telling me, I don't like you. And it was kind of rude. You know, it's a rude comment to, you know, to anybody. I don't like you. You see my BB gun. But I'm like, well, that was kind of rude. And, you know, this is a group I started. It's got over 2,000 people in it. And yeah, we're not going to miss you. Boop, gone. You know, be nice to people. Unless I say a name, I'm not, you know, as in general, there's 70% of the people are pretty rude and, you know, but there's a good 25% or so that are nice people. We can get along with them. You know, and there's no reason to be rude to people like that. You know. Should have just said, ha ha. You know. It's a lot nicer than, oh, you're boring. You know, when they say boring, it's like, oh, you're boring. You know. Nobody wants to be called boring. My dog certainly doesn't have a boring life. He's out there chasing rabbits and barking at them underneath. He's not bored. Oh. And you see my little thing here, if you notice that? It's my, you need this when you go to Nevada. Yeah. So my YouTube is showing me backwards, but I hope it produces the video forward again. If not, you see all the words are backwards. This is my left side. This is my right side. So, okay. Well, I've about burned out on this. I've given a couple of good clues. I've given everybody from where warm waters halt to the home of Brown the put in. So, and be creative. I'm not going to, I'll help you think, and I'll give you some clues. I'll give you some of the beginning points, but all the rest and exactly where these formations are my secret. If there's somebody that wants to go hunting with me for, say, 20%, because I've done all this work and nobody else is close to it, if anybody wants a 20% cut of the investment the treasure will make, that means you're not taking 20% of the treasure's going into a program that will fetch about $200,000 a month indefinitely. It'll be, that's what you charge them to show something that brings in their customers. They pay $60,000 a month for Muhammad Ali's punching bag. They're going to pay $200,000 a month to display Fenn's treasure. And it's such a grand treasure, it's likely that it would be in a casino that is based on Fenn's treasure, with his name on it. And if they build something like that to put it in there and giving you $200,000 a month to keep it there, it's going to be there for many years and make millions of dollars, millions and millions, not just 1 to 3. It'll do that in the first year. The second year, another, and so on and so on. It's a big investment. So, Forrest, you said if it was worth $10 million, you'd go back and get it. How about we just be partners? I'm so close. I figured out your poem and all. It saved me a whole lot of trouble. And maybe a broken leg and a broken arm or something. I slipped the other day and my leg went down in this rock. And I was, oh, good thing I didn't fall more. That would have just snapped my leg. And that's when I took my glasses off. Because he's got, there's no lines in them, but there's a bifocal. There's a reading thing down here. And when you're walking, that's, down to the ground, and it's distorting the ground, makes it look closer than it is, and you don't know where your feet are. It's scary. So take your glasses off if you're climbing around the rocks. I got them on so I can see this computer stuff and all the little print and who said something. What's said? All right, Bill, have a great weekend. I will. I'd take it and hide it again. What? Why? Well, a good reason to take it and hide it again is that, your taxes, you have a 10-year statute of limitations. So it's a heavy price to pay being desolate and on the run for 10 years. But after 10 years, they can't do anything. So if you told me, I found it, here's the pictures of the treasure and all that, but after you take the pictures, you go and bury it somewhere that nobody's ever going to go there. I've been to many places. Nobody's ever going to go here, but I wouldn't find one that was in my treasure zone. I'd go hide it somewhere where he said it's not going to be, like in the desert, and you bury it, and they come, like, I don't have it. I hid it. It's hidden. You can't touch it, and I'm not gonna see it again for 10 years. Yeah. And then just like, you tell the IRS and those NSA analysts and all that, kiss my ass. Yeah, like I tell a lot of the people that get a-hole on me, I tell them, kiss my ass. Or I tell them, double blazes. Because that middle finger is a blaze. The middle finger in his pocket, look at that as a blaze, and it's a bird. Forrest Fenn was a bird. He flew airplanes. And I'm sure he's flown them inverted. Done the George Washington, gone upside down, fly upside down, inverted. And pilots go inverted. You take the double blazes where I found it, you invert it, and you see the cats and the cow udder. It's like boom, boom, boom. Oh, it fits. And it all fits. When all the pieces fit, you got to be in the right place. You have a good day, and good luck on your searches. Oh, I almost hit the X button. Killed with fire. What? Why? Take it and hide it again. What? Why? I don't know what you're whying to. You gotta. What? Why the? Why hide it again, or why? Because those people, they want to take 50%. No, I put too much effort into this to give you 50%. You little a-holes. You little. gold digger government. Ugh. And I'm a single guy. I'd like to have a nice lady, not far from my age, maybe 10, 15 years younger, maybe 5 years older, I'm not really into the, I don't want to start a relationship with somebody that's on their last leg, 5 years, that's the end of it, no. So I'd rather somebody that's closer to my age. My family lives in their 90s, except for Kaiser killed my parents. He turned my dad's heart-lung machine on in reverse and blew his heart up like a balloon because of one-way valves in your heart, and when the pump goes the other way, the blood can't go through the heart, and it just blows the heart up like a balloon. And it sent the contents of the filter of the machine into his lung, destroyed 75% of his lungs. They had him sedated for over 6 months, and he went home and died 2 months later, So that's my dad went at 68, and my mother at 53 from cancer. And me and my mom had the same birthday, so I just had my birthday, my 31st birthday without her. I had 31 birthdays with her. It was my 29th birthday without her, so that makes me 60. So, okay, have a good evening. Good luck searching. And find out who tried to call me an hour ago.